I don't know if you understand my point. I'm saying that low-income people who work as janitors shouldn't come to my wedding. Where did I go wrong in raising her? My daughter seems to put appearances first. I have no right to blame her. She is a human being, and it's only natural that she does not grow up the way I want her to. She would not listen to me even if I scolded her like a wildfire at this point. Fine then, I won't go to your wedding. My name is Kevin, and after 4 years of marriage, my wife and I had our first child, whom we named Jennifer. And I thought that from now on, my wife and I would raise this child together, but fate is cruel. 6 months after our daughter was born, my wife was involved in a car accident and never returned home. Overnight, I lost my wife and was thrown into the bottom of my life. My wife's parents comforted me, even though they themselves must have been sad. I could not stop crying because of their kindness. They told me they would raise our child together. I wiped away my tears and started working. Although I had to live with my in-laws, my parents also cooperated and I was able to work hard for my daughter. I think my daughter was more attached to my in-laws than to me, since I worked day and night. Even so, she would smile at me when I came home and told me, "Welcome home." No matter how tired I was, that smile was my driving force. With the help of those around me, my daughter has turned 20 years old, and I can't help but burst into tears at the sight of her as an adult. I heard that many people rent dresses for coming-of-age ceremonies, but I took my daughter to a dress shop and had one tailored for her, and she was very happy and looked radiant as she participated in her coming-of-age ceremony. My in-laws also shed tears when they saw my daughter. My in-laws and I were both very proud of Jennifer. After the ceremony, she returned home, took off her dress, and went out with her classmates to celebrate the coming-of-age ceremony at a restaurant. "Kevin, you've done such a great job. Jennifer has grown up so well. You worked so hard to raise Jennifer. Jennifer has grown up like this thanks to the both of you. Without the two of you, I would not have been able to raise Jennifer this far. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us." "Oh no, don't bow so deeply to me. You'll make me cry again." "We did what we wanted to do, so there's no need to thank us." My mother-in-law has taken the lead in taking care of my daughter while I have been at work. My father-in-law, while running his own business, gave up his precious time off just for my daughter. They also took very good care of me. I have nothing but gratitude for them. My daughter is now a student at a prestigious university. Thanks to my in-laws and my parents, I've been able to cover all of my daughter's expenses. All she needs to do now is to graduate from college and find a job that she wants to do. I feel as if a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and she is so close to graduating from college, but what I didn't realize was how my daughter felt about me. She now lives alone. This is after she entered college. I used to take some time off to visit her apartment to check on her and send her food. When she graduated from college, that life came to an end. "Thank you, Dad, for everything." I could not help but get teary-eyed when my daughter said those words to me. With that one word, all the hard work I had done up to that point was rewarded. I realized that my role was now complete. "Kevin, there's still one important thing left to do. Jennifer's wedding." "That's true." "We'll have a big celebration then, won't we?" My daughter's marriage, although it's still too early to tell for a recent college graduate, will probably come sooner or later. When the man she wants to marry comes along, I want to give her a big celebration. That is what I was thinking. The time came 5 years after my daughter's graduation. On that day, my daughter brought her fiancé, Jack, home. He was quiet and didn't say much, but he nicely greeted me and my in-laws. "I'm excited to be a part of the family." He bowed his head to me and my in-laws. My daughter seemed to be crazy about him and was in a good mood from start to finish. "I want to make the wedding a big deal. We're going to invite a lot of friends and people from work. I want to be particular about the ceremony, and I want to spend a lot of money on the food." Hearing my daughter talk like that, I decided to support them. Jack just kept on talking to my daughter, but she seemed to be full of happiness. I sent him home that day, and my daughter said she was going to stay at our house for the first time in a long time. At night, after my in-laws went to bed, it was just me and my daughter. "Congratulations on the marriage," I said to my daughter. "Yeah." She seemed to be enjoying herself from start to finish, but her expression changed drastically when I approached her. "Dad, I have a favor to ask you." I turned my smile to her, thinking she was asking me to help her with the wedding. "I don't want you to come to my wedding." This is exactly what it means when people say that time stands still. I couldn't get my head around what my daughter was saying. I was her father, and I had taken it for granted that I would attend her wedding. I never thought she would make such a statement. "Jack's parents will be there, and his father runs a company. I don't have a mother, but he said he was okay with that, but they were very sorry to hear about it. That made me think, I thought that being told how hard it was for me meant that I had to suffer more than anyone else because I didn't have a mother. Why did you stay alone all these years? Why didn't you remarry? Then I could have lived without any hardships. I never thought of remarrying, and although I'm sure I made her feel lonely by not having a mother, I never intended to make it hard for her. I would have given my daughter whatever she wanted, whether it was a piano, swimming lessons, and I would have raised the money and sent her off to those things. I also never once failed to pay her school fees. I did not allow my daughter to borrow money for scholarships, and I was able to cover everything on my own. I don't think I have ever caused my daughter any inconvenience just because I was a single father. Besides, your job is as a janitor, right? I heard that from Grandpa a long time ago. That's so pathetic. If you weren't a janitor, maybe I could have had more fun. My daughter didn't seem to have a part-time job during her college years, but that was because I wanted her to concentrate on her studies. While studying, my daughter went camping with her friends, went shopping for clothes, and seemed to be having a very happy and fulfilling life. But was she still not leading a satisfying life? All of my feelings for my daughter are being denied here and now. What had I been holding out for? It felt very hopeless. When she graduated from university, my daughter said thank you to me. Was that all a lie? When I could not say anything, she sighed loudly. Do you not understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that low-income people who work as janitors shouldn't come to my wedding. Huh? Where did I go wrong in raising her? My daughter seems to put appearances first. I have no right to blame her. She is a human being, and it's only natural that she does not grow up the way I want her to. She would not listen to me even if I scolded her like a wildfire at this point. Fine then, I won't go to your wedding, but are you sure you're okay with it? Even though my daughter has said such terrible things to me, I'm still worried about whether I can be of any help at her wedding, but my daughter stared at me, unaware of my concern. I'll be fine. I'll have my grandparents sit in the family section. There's nothing to worry about. I'm going to marry Jack and be happy, and everything will be fine as long as you don't come. Her words made me have enough. If my daughter rejects me, then so be it. And I'm feeling a little angry. I should keep my distance from my daughter, who has no understanding of human feelings, and I hope that one day she would realize the sinfulness of what she had done. Okay, I understand what you're saying. No, I don't think you do. What else do you want? I'm not going to come back here after we get married. I see, so you're cutting ties with me? Yes, that's right. I don't want to dwell on my miserable past. My daughter had said everything she wanted to say and left the house, even though it was nighttime. I sighed alone in the living room, and tears rolled down my cheeks. Kevin, I'm sorry. I woke up to go to the bathroom and heard you guys talking. I'm sorry for eavesdropping. No, it's okay. I'm the only one not invited to the wedding, so it was something I had to tell you sooner or later. Maybe I should have intervened. No, I don't think I would have been able to hear my daughter's true feelings if you two had been there. Don't forget that we're on your side, Kevin. Yes, we've been there for you, and we've seen how hard you've been working. Jennifer doesn't know that. The next few months were peaceful. Jennifer never contacted me, but she frequently contacted her grandparents. Honey, Jennifer is asking if you can lend her money for her wedding. I won't lend her anything. I thought so too, so I turned her down. A wedding is something you do as much as you can afford. We shouldn't expect someone else to pay for it from the beginning. When my wife and I had our wedding, we never asked our parents for assistance. We did as much of the wedding as we could with the funds we had. My daughter must have thought it was a given that we would pay for it. We have covered everything in the past because we didn't want her to have a hard time with money. That seems to have had its revenge. My daughter probably doesn't understand the difference between an island and an island of money. This is something she should reflect on. Besides, it's unforgivable to speak like that to me, her father, who has worked so hard for her. People are only able to survive because they have each other's support. Jennifer should understand that. We should help Jennifer wake up. My mother-in-law nodded in agreement with my father-in-law's words. My daughter certainly gave me a hard time that time. She called me a low-income person, but she was wrong. If I had remained low-income as she said, I would not have been able to send her to college. No matter how much I work, there's a limit to how much I can earn. So I started a cleaning company, relying on the knowledge I had acquired as a janitor and my self-taught business administration. It was thanks to my father-in-law that I was able to start this company. At first, the company had a few employees, and the first customer was my father-in-law. My father-in-law contracted me to clean his office, and we were very careful in our work. Seeing our work, my father-in-law recommended us to other company presidents. From there, the company gradually grew in size. We thoroughly train our new employees, and every employee has acquired a certain level of cleaning skills, and our careful and fast work became famous. Because of this, I have been able to give my daughter everything she wanted, but I will no longer be able to help her. As if they were concerned about me, my father-in-law and his family invited me on a trip to a resort. They also invited my parents to the trip. I was really happy that they were so considerate. A few months later, we set off on our trip to the resort. We arrived at the hotel and enjoyed the resort. As we were relaxing in our room, my phone rang. It was my daughter on the other end of the line. I glanced at my phone and put it down on the table. There is nothing to talk about now. But the calls didn't stop. As the calls continued to come in, I picked up the phone, still worried about my daughter. "Dad, you need to come to the ceremony right now." "What's going on all of a sudden?" "It's my wedding today." "I didn't know that. I'm not going. You told me not to. You're the one who told me that low-income janitors shouldn't come." My daughter was silent, unable to refute my words. But I heard a man yelling in the call. I think this is Jack's voice. "I was going to marry you because 2 of your relatives are presidents. If neither of them are coming to the wedding, there's no point in marrying you." "What are you talking about? Grandpa is the only president in my family." "Of course not. Your father is the president of that big cleaning company too." They were arguing on the phone. This was Jack's true character. "Dad, just hurry up and come here." "I can't. I don't even know where you're having your wedding." "I'll send you the address right now." "I can't. I'm traveling with your grandparents right now." "They're there too? Why?" "Because they decided not to help their granddaughter, who can't think of anyone else's feelings. My parents, after hearing my daughter's story, feel the same way as my parents-in-law." "Oh, no, please help me. When I told Jack that you wouldn't come because I told you not to, he got very angry." "He knew I was the boss, didn't he? I guess Jack likes my money more than he likes you." "That's not true." "He approached you for my money. But that's none of my business anymore. You've already cut ties with me." I hung up the phone. My daughter would never be happy if she got married to such a money-grubbing person. I wish the ceremony would be cancelled. I heard from the father of one of my daughter's classmates who attended the ceremony that there were several of his daughter's classmates there. He said that the groom made a fuss about not having this ceremony if there was no money, and the ceremony was interrupted, and it seems that people around them thought the groom had a problem. However, later, my daughter was talking to her classmate about me, and people learned that I was not invited to the wedding. Then people started asking my daughter why she would do such a thing to her father, who allowed her to do everything she wanted, and that paid for her college and living expenses. So when my daughter finally realized that she was crazy, she came to apologize at the front door of our house. But when we did not allow her to enter the house, since then, our daughter frequently came to our house and left an envelope with money in it. "Thank you so much for everything you've done for me," she would say in the envelope. "Please let me pay back the college fund, however many years it may take." I know it will still take her a long time to pay it back, but by the time it is paid back, I will forgive my daughter. I'm sure the daughter missed her mother's presence, but I wonder if she didn't realize how much she was loved by those around her. I think his daughter grew up in a blessed environment. I hope she will reflect on her actions from now on, and one day she will be forgiven. Thank you for watching. How did you like today's story? Please subscribe to our channel. See you in the next story.